Joining you today from Lucas Oil Stadium, downtown Indianapolis, the Colts hosting the Tennessee Titans. Week 14, Colts are 8-4. The Titans are 4-8. Mike Munchak, 9-7 in his first year. His 31st season with the organization, started as a player as part of the Houston Oilers back in 1982. Became an assistant coach after retiring. First year as a coach, 1994. And he's got a connection with Andrew Luck. We'll tell you about that. Andrew's father, Oliver Luck, former quarterback with the Houston Oilers. In fact, him and Munchak were roommates their rookie year. Tennessee won the toss, and they will receive. Pat McAfee on the kickoff. We're underway from Indy. Darius Raynaud will not have a chance to take that one out. Titans will have it at the 20-yard line. And Jake Locker making just his 8th NFL start and looking to get things going for this Tennessee offense.
And head coach Mike Munchak stressed to us yesterday that consistency in the play of his young quarterback, and really that of his entire offense, is important today. Finishing drives, taking care of the ball is what Locker and the Titans must do today to corral the Colts.
5 turnovers last week, 3 interceptions, 2 fumbles, and a 24-10 loss to Houston. They dropped 4 of their last 5 games. Bootleg on the first play. Locker, that strong arm. He connects with Kenny Britt to get things started. Forced out of bounds by Cassius Vaughn. And a good pickup, 9 yards on first down. Kevin Matthews, the son of Hall of Famer and offensive line coach Bruce Matthews, getting his 2nd NFL start. Fernando Velasco shifts over to left guard. Backs and receivers. Chris Johnson comes in 7 yards away from his 5th straight 1,000-yard rushing season. Had 99 rushing yards in the first meeting between these two teams, a game that Indianapolis won in overtime, 1913, October the 28th. Kendall Wright gets the catch, and he extends for the first down. 2-yard pickup, the rookie out of Baylor, leading all rookies in receptions. Defensively for Indianapolis, the former Titan Antonio Johnson anchoring that 3-4 set. Linebackers, a change made. Pat Angerer is in the starting lineup. First start of the season, Cavell Connor is active. And in the secondary, once again, it's Joe LaFed stepping in for Tom Zibikowski, sitting this one out with a knee injury. New set of downs for Tennessee to work with. Double tight end set. Running play. Johnson up the middle. Not a whole lot there as he picks up 2 yards, with Connor making the play for Indy.
And because Jake Locker got sacked 6 times last week against Houston, you can see on the first 2 pass plays, the first one was a rollout where Locker really is maybe more accurate throwing on the run, and then a quick slip screen out to the outside. So getting the ball out of his hands and getting him out of the pocket worked on the first 2 plays.
Changes on that offensive line, holding up so far for Tennessee. Locker out of the pocket. He can make plays with his legs. Locker downfield. Huge gain for Locker off the scramble.
He made a great move on Robert Mathis. Mathis dropping into the secondary in coverage. Had Locker, I think maybe he thought that Locker may be going out of bounds. Here's Mathis here. Watch as he'll drop. And then out of the pocket. It's right about there that this really sharp cut by Locker gets inside Mathis and down the sidelines for 32 big ones.
That is his longest run of the season. Previous high of 31 yards. And a 1st and 10 for Tennessee in Indy territory. Stevens and Thompson are in there, double tight end. Chris Johnson stumbles for a gain of 3. Hit by Vontae Davis. He's back for the 2nd straight game. Indianapolis defensively comes in number 21 in total defense, 24 in scoring defense. Tennessee has yet to win a game in the division. They're averaging just 14 points per game against AFC South competition and allowing 26.3, 11 turnovers in those games as well. 2nd and 7 now for the Titans. Fake the handoff. Another bootleg. Locker on the move. That's really where he's at his best. Kenny Britt, the reception, another first down. Locker, as we asked Bruce Arians to assess him, said he's actually more accurate moving outside of the pocket on the move as opposed to the standard drop back.
Yeah, he was really frustrated last week with all those sacks against the Texans and the number of balls that were batted down. But you're right, I mean, he looks so comfortable. Real compact delivery on the run and the ball right on the numbers.
And another first down for Tennessee. Impressive opening drive here for the Titans. Johnson in the backfield. Johnson gets the call. Takes it to the outside, dives, and a flag is thrown as Cassius Vaughn got him on the perimeter.
Number 88 offense, 10-yard penalty, still first down.
That's Craig Stevens called on the hold, and that's Pete Morelli with the call, our referee here today.
That's how Chris Johnson got to the outside. Stevens lining up on the wing position. And here he is right here. He's going to come up here on Hughes and just grab him. Watch the right hand control in the left hand. And Hughes can't get away. Johnson goes around the corner. And next thing you'll see is a yellow flag.
New offensive coordinator Dal Logan's calling the plays. Chris Palmer was let go. Longtime NFL coach last week. But Tom Moore is involved, part of the staff, as you mentioned, Dan. 1st and 20 now for Tennessee. Shotgun for Locker. Pump and throw. Locker handled well. A high throw. Kendall Wright hauls it in. It's an 8-yard pickup. We talked to Kendall Wright and his development in his rookie year out of Baylor. And he said that the big key with Locker is his ability to extend the play. And Wright's kind of used to that with RG3 going back to his Baylor days.
They had such a great chemistry down there in Waco. And so it's natural for Kendall Wright, once the quarterback gets out of the pocket, to keep his route going. That time it was a quick
challenge
slant over the middle, and the challenge flag is out by Bruce Arians as to whether this was called.
Ruling on the field of a completed catch. Timeout.
It was moving. Kendall Wright, it was ruled a clean catch on the play. Bruce Arians and his coaching staff disagree, and they will take a look at challenge here in Indy.
Play is still under review, so we'll take a look at our CBS Hyper Zoom technology here to determine whether Kendall Wright makes this catch. He's got it in his left hand there. Right on his back is Vontae Davis. The ball does hit the ground, but does he ever lose possession and control? And is it really worth this early in the game to challenge this play?
There's Pete Morelli.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands. Completed catch. Second down.
So Wright gets credit for the catch.
And Indy loses a timeout.
They sure do at the 10:48 mark of this first quarter.
Well, it would have been
it's an
8-yard play. They get the challenge. 2nd and 20. Now it's 2nd and 12. Not sure it's worth it. But in the first half, timeouts are not as important, obviously, as they are in the second half. I doubt that a challenge would have been called this early in the second half.
Please set the game clock to 10:48.
So tack on 5 seconds to the game clock. 2nd and 12 now for Tennessee, just inside the 25-yard line of Indy. Hot start for Jake Locker, 4 of 4, 29 yards. Johnson in the backfield, shotgun formation for Locker. Plenty of time, Locker on the move, a dump ball. Johnson turns the corner. And Johnson forced out of bounds as he crossed the 20-yard line by Darius Butler. 6-yard gain on the catch and run. 3rd down now for Tennessee.
Now, Locker looks a lot more decisive this afternoon so far. That's what happens when you get off to a good start with a couple of easy completions. It just speeds you up. 5 for 5 now for 35 yards. That was a good decision to come off to Chris Johnson late.
Mike Munchak said last week Locker just tried to do too much too early, but he did settle down in the second half. 9th play of the drive. 4 receivers set, trying to keep the drive going. Locker looking for the end zone. Diving grab. Touchdown. What a catch by Jared Cook. Titans are on the board.
Well, last week the Detroit Lions hit their tight end right over the middle for a touchdown pass on a similar type of route. This time it's Cook lined up right here. He's going to get behind the secondary here. Sergio Brown in coverage here, but the ball perfectly thrown. Cook goes 6'5", great leaping ability, and holds on to this ball as he hits the ground. What a start for Locker, the Titans, and Cook.
Sergio Brown in there as part of the dime package. And Jake Locker identifies it, the mismatch, and the touchdown. Locker 6 of 6 on the drive. Baronis adds the extra point. Tennessee out in front. Strong opening for the Titans.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. Garmin, this holiday season, give a Garmin the most trusted name in GPS navigation. And by the all-new Ford Fusion. Go further.
Holiday spirit here in Indianapolis, Tennessee, off to the 7-0 lead over the Colts. Well, you know what Tennessee's getting for Christmas, an opening drive touchdown. 9 plays, 80 yards, took 4 minutes and 50 seconds. And Tennessee just moved down the field methodically. The long run by Locker into Indianapolis territory, setting them up. Locker looking sharp. Coronas kicks it off to Cassius Vaughn. Over his head. Colts will have it at the 20-yard line. Let's send you back to the touchdown, Dan.
Well, here's Cook going to the post, but watch Antoine Bethea. Just a little bit of a hesitation here as he's got Washington going to the corner. That one little bit of hesitating is enough for Locker to get the ball over Sergio Brown's head without any deep help. 4th touchdown catch of the season for Cook. And Locker's hot. 6 for 6. 4 different receivers on that drive.
Andrew Luck, 391 yards, 4 touchdowns, 3 interceptions in the come-from-behind win last week against Detroit on a give to Vic Ballard and no gain on first down. Senderick Marks getting the penetration. Andrew Luck, 6 300-yard passing games this season. That's a rookie record.
Hey, he told us the big lesson he learned yesterday or last week was that the 60-minute game means just that, 60 minutes. Knows he didn't play his best with all those interceptions, but ball security, he knows it's got to be priority this afternoon.
He had the right perspective. He said, look, the team was fortunate that they were in an opportunity and a position to win the game at the end, but you can't live that way every week in the NFL. Luck out of the pocket and throws it over the head of his intended receiver Fleener, with Derek Morgan supplying the pressure on Andrew Luck. Luck and the Colts had a tough time moving the ball the first time these two teams met. Here's the starting lineup for Indianapolis. Seth Olson is off IR and he's back in his left guard starting spot. Joe Wright's out with a concussion. Backs and receivers. Donnie Avery, 2 touchdowns last week, including the game winner. We asked Avery about it. He said, it felt like I was running in slow motion on the game winner. It just took forever. 3rd and 10 now for Indy. Out of the gun. Luck. Wide open. T.Y. Hilton could not bring it in. Incomplete.
But Andrew Luck misses a touchdown with this ball thrown a little bit too far to the outside. A great effort by Hilton to stretch out, catch the ball on his fingertips, and land out of bounds with the ball. Excellent call by the official. Watch where he comes down. His feet will be off the ground, and the ball will hit out of bounds. Ball hit just as his left elbow was hitting inbounds. Great call by the officials.
4th down for the Colts. Pat McAfee will punt it. Darius Raynaud is waiting for it. Backpedals, now fair catch called for, and ranges over to bring it in at the 26-yard line. That's where Tennessee will have it with a 7-0 lead after the 54-yard punt. Another look at it, the effort by T.Y. Hilton. Incomplete. First half, Adam Vinatieri field goal attempt blocked by Michael Griffin. DeLon Carter, a 1-yard touchdown run to tie the game late in the 4th quarter. Titans had a chance on the next drive. Matt Hasselbeck overthrew Jared Cook. Overtime, Vic Ballard, the corkscrew dive into the end zone to win it. 19-13 for the Colts. Mike Munchak believes that game really catapulted Indianapolis. They used that as a springboard. Chris Johnson on the redirect.
And in talking to Locker about that game and what he learned from Matt Hasselbeck, he said that basically early in the game, Hasselbeck just took what he was given, and that appears to be what Locker is doing so far with this hot start. 6 for 6 for 53 yards. The touchdown pass to Jared Cook. Let's see what they do on this second possession with good field position.
Chris Johnson now over 1,000 yards rushing for the 5th consecutive season to start his NFL career. Johnson bangs his way across the 35-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup for Johnson. Third and manageable here for Tennessee. Antonio Johnson will get credit for the stop.
I guess when a guy rushes for over 2,000 yards, 1,000 doesn't look that good, but 1,000 is still pretty good, especially when you think that this is the 13th game of the season.
Well, plus the fact the rushing average is up. Yeah, we had this team early in the season. He was hovering around 2.8, 2.9 yards per carry. He's now nearly 5 yards per carry.
And still a threat to go the distance any and every time.
And they just gave him enough for a first down. Johnson, stutter step. Hit just short of the 40-yard line by Connor. Limits him to a 3-yard gain. Standings in the AFC South. Houston's 11-1. They've clinched the playoff berth but have not clinched the division. Why? Indianapolis still plays the Texans twice. So if Indy were to win today, if Houston loses tomorrow, Indy would actually control its own fate with a chance to win the division and win the tiebreak at 12-4. Second and 7, Locker on time to Kenny Britt. He's got a first down. Britt, extra yardage after the catch. Finally brought down to the 45. NFL Today update. Let's head to New York. JB, Dan Marino.
Ray Rice, 46-yard run, key play, and on first pass of the afternoon, Joe Flacco, he pump fakes, he finds Anquan Bolden, nice pass, corner in the end zone, 19-yard touchdown, 7-7 in Washington.
All right, let's take it back to Ian Eagle and Dan Fouts.
All right, guys, Baltimore will clinch a playoff spot with a win and a Pittsburgh or Cincinnati loss. Give to Johnson. Able to find that crack, but loses the ball.
They're saying he's down now. Look at the line judge coming in, pointing to the ground, and now pointing in the direction of Tennessee ball.
Vontae Davis was there looking for the recovery. Play is ruled down after the 4-yard gain by Johnson.
You know, Ian, you go back to that 16-yard reception by Kenny Britt. Who did he look like on that play? We saw just last week.
Calvin Johnson,
Detroit.
No doubt. They could not control Calvin Johnson. Not that other teams have been able to either. Second and 6 now. Raynaud. Try to spin move at the end of the play. He's inside the 40 for a 2.5-yard gain. Jarrell Freeman, first man there for the Colts.
Let's go back to the near fumble by Chris Johnson. Progress is stopped right there, and now he's down on the ground. The ball comes out. Official quickly came in and pointed to the ground.
Indianapolis has actually allowed a 100-yard receiver in 5 straight games. Calvin Johnson last week, 13 for 171 and a touchdown. 7th play of the drive. 3rd and 4. Locker, tip ball, incomplete. And Tennessee is in no man's land as Corey Redding got a piece of it.
Yeah, this happened to Locker too many times last week. Watch number 90 right here. Corey Redding, he's 6'4". He can't get by Deuce Latui, so he does the next best thing. Stop, eye the quarterback, get both hands up in the air. They knock that ball down.
So on 4th down, they are looking at a long field goal. And they're going to try it with Rob Baronis, a 57-yard attempt. His long this season is 53. In his career, the longest he's ever kicked is a 60-yarder. Baronis, Louisville, Kentucky native, has missed it. Wide to the right. Colts will have excellent field position to start their second drive of the day. Tennessee, the 7-0 lead over Indy.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Verizon. Upgrade your human specifications with Droid DNA. And by Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Here we go.
First and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
Seven 0 Tennessee leading Indianapolis. 5:12 to go in the first quarter. Colts have it at the 47-yard line after the missed field goal. Vic Ballard the carry up the middle, and there's nothing there for Ballard. Maybe a gain of a half a yard on forward progress. For complete pro football coverage, including everything you need to know from this weekend's matchups, all the way through Super Bowl 47. Visit CBSSports.com/NFL.
Hey, Mike, 29.
On second down for the Colts. Step and throw, wobbly pass. Hilton handles it and turns it into a big gain upfield. Weaves his way inside the 20-yard line. 36 yards on the hookup. What a weapon.
Yeah, I'd stay at that hotel any day. Watch the speed of T.Y. Hilton, left side of the screen coming into view right here. He's going to pull away from Cody Sensabaugh, then outruns Babineau down the sidelines. He's not done yet. Great speed.
Apparently,
big play.
Your room is not ready. The housekeeper is still working on it, Dan. Sorry. On a first down now for Indianapolis inside the red zone. Back to the ground game. Ballard's got a hole. Rumbles to the 10-yard line, a 7-yard pickup. Satelli and McGlynn with good blocks defensively for Tennessee. Wimbley is dealing with a toe injury. Linebacking core, Shaw once again in for the injured Colin McCarthy, sitting this one out with concussion-like symptoms. And in the secondary, Alteron Werner was dealing with the flu this week, but he's been in there for Tennessee. 2nd and 3 now. On a pitch, Ballard hurdles, but slowed down, and it gave Tennessee time to get to the football. Michael Griffin, a loss of 1.
Yeah, it's a great play by Alteron Werner. He came up and took out the interference. Anthony Costanzo was the lead blocker on that play, but Werner went low on Costanzo, knocked him down, and that forced Ballard to go up over the top. That's when the pursuit got to him. Great play by Werner.
Colts 6 touchdowns in their last 8 red zone drives. Looking for the equalizer. 3rd and 4. 4 receivers set for Indy. From the gun, Luck throws underneath. Ballard hit, holds on to the ball, and he's got a first down. 1st and goal as Cody Sensabaugh and Will Witherspoon combine on the shot.
Really good decision by Luck to get rid of the ball quickly. A little circle route by his tailback, Ballard. And watch this big hit here as Ballard, both hands on the ball, absorbs the shock, takes the ball to the 1-yard line.
A.Q. Shipley, offensive lineman, lines up at fullback. 1st and goal for Indianapolis. DeLon Carter in the backfield. Saunders, the motion man. Luck on a give. Carter is thrown down, read perfectly by the rookie from Michigan, Mike Martin. Loss of 2 on the play.
And it appeared that Martin was anticipating the run to the outside here. A.Q. Shipley takes the outside guy, but nobody blocks Martin. And Carter thought that when he went down, he went on top of Martin, but obviously his left knee hit the ground.
Spot the football now at the 4. 2nd and goal for Indianapolis. Just over a minute to go in this first quarter. Allen goes in motion. Luck, fake the handoff. The throw, caught. Reggie Wayne, touchdown Indianapolis.
Outstanding play fake by Andrew Luck as he really held the ball out for the defense to see. Defense thinking he's going to hand it to Ballard. He pulled it back. Watch Luck reach the ball out, then bring it back quickly. There is Wayne wide open as he gets inside McCourty, the back of the end zone.
Reggie Wayne is on the precipice of cracking the top 10 all-time in career receptions. Luck to Wayne for the touchdown. All set up by the long missed field goal by Baronis. Indianapolis with excellent field position. They take advantage of it. 7 plays, 53 yards. We are all tied up. 7 apiece, late first quarter.
That decision to go for that long field goal. play field position at that time, punt the ball, pin the Colts back deep. Their first drive, the Colts were 3 and out and really looking bad. Got a big jump in that great field position and took advantage of it.
Locker so far 7 of 8, 69 yards and a touchdown. Johnson bouncing it to the outside. Indianapolis, though, doing a good job setting the edge. Cavell Connor over there defensively. A 3-yard gain for Johnson. Chris Johnson, 80-plus yards rushing in 6 of his last 7 games. So he's rediscovered some of the formula that's worked for him through the years. We talked about the explosive ability. Signed that big 6 years, $53 million contract. And the production came down, but that's based on the 2006 yards that he gained in 2009. 5.6 yard per rush average. Locker avoids the pressure. Locker on the move. Incomplete. And a penalty flag thrown on the other end of the field at the 28-yard line.
Yeah, we may have holding in the secondary against the Colts.
Holding. Number 90 defense. 5-yard penalty, automatic. First down.
90 is Corey Redding, the veteran now in his 10th year.
But Locker looks a lot more comfortable in this game to start with. That was a good decision to get out of the pocket that time and use his speed.
How about making an adjustment to a new center? Kevin Matthews is in there, son of Bruce Matthews, making his second NFL start. We asked Jake Locker about it. How about in your experience?
Well, it's something you have to work on, no question about it. And especially you have to be careful if the center has to reach to make a block on a defensive tackle. You got to ride with them just that extra second to make sure you've got that ball. Takes a lot of practice.
Locker steps, throws, deep ball, a lot of air under it, incomplete. Flag thrown, Kenny Britt and Vontae Davis. This might be offensive interference.
Yeah, but was the ball catchable? Remember, it's got to be catchable for it to be pass interference. And that's what I would challenge if I were the Tennessee Titans right now. But it's clear that Britt made contact with Davis. Davis had a clear shot at this ball, but it was thrown about 5 yards beyond both players. Watch where the ball comes down. There's the penalty right there, but that ball nowhere near catchable. That is called less and less the more you watch games about pass interference, one way or the other.
Well, you know Kenny Britt has big play potential. He has shown it during stretches of his career. It's the polish. That's what you're waiting for him to take that next step in the consistency. Week in and week out. Johnson waits, and the Colts swarm. Loss of 2 for Johnson. Robert Mathis and Corey Redding among those there defensively for Indy. End of the first quarter. Tied at 7, the NFL on CBS. Rejoining you here at Lucas Oil Stadium, opened back in 2008, the retractable roof, which isn't a bad thing today because it's rainy here in Indy, a little bit nasty. First quarter numbers for Locker and Luck. These two did meet back in their Pac-10 days prior to the Pac-12 at Washington and Stanford, respectively. 2nd and 22. Quick hitter, Kendall Wright. Wright stays on his feet. Kendall Wright just short of the 30-yard line. Nice moves up the field by Wright, the former basketball player at Baylor. Played as a freshman, then had to make a quote-unquote career decision and made the right one.
Well, he checked out the heights of different positions in the NBA. That 5'10" would make a good ball boy.
Not a whole lot of those in the NBA. Wright did end up practicing a bit with the Baylor team over his next few years of the school. Michael Preston checks in. Just activated off the practice squad, a wide receiver. 3rd and 8 now for Tennessee. The pass is caught by Britt. Kenny Britt. Right down the sideline. Locker put it exactly where it had to be for a 46-yard pass play.
Well, it wouldn't have happened unless Chris Johnson steps up and makes a great block on Jarrell Freeman. from the side here, you're going to see the block, and that allows Locker to have a clear vision and throw a perfect ball down the sidelines. Kenny Britt gets behind the secondary just a bit. Cassius Vaughn there. They run into each other with Fang set up the Titans in good field position.
His longest catch of the season, handoff to Johnson, stutter step. Johnson brought down by Freeman, the former CFL star. 3.5-yard pickup there for Johnson.
It just, you just don't see your star running backs making such a critical block on a linebacker coming free like that. That was outstanding. That gave Locker a chance to make the big play to Britt.
Second and 7 now for the Titans on the move. Keep it on the ground. Nothing to work with for Johnson as Freeman combines with Guy to bring him down, and Britt is being tended to along the Tennessee sideline, the left arm. Wants to get back out there. He's not going to make it for this play, or is he? He will. No, he won't.
He tried.
Damian Williams is inactive this week with a hamstring injury he suffered last week in a loss to Houston. This is now a 3rd and 7 for Tennessee. Locker from the gun. Locker, touch pass. Can't connect with Nate Washington, incomplete. Darius Butler drew the coverage, the 4-year veteran formerly with New England and Carolina.
Locker threw this ball just a little bit too early. Washington never really could locate this ball. Good pass protection for the quarterback. Ball thrown just a little bit too far as Washington had a step in the corner of the end zone.
So Rob Baronis on for a 40-yard attempt. He missed one from 57 yards away. Now in his 8th year in the NFL, a Pro Bowler back in 2007. Trying to give Tennessee the lead. 40-yard kick. He's got it. Titans 10, Colts 7. We've got 12:27 to play. First half. More second quarter action coming up from Indy. Titans go 8 plays, 58 yards. Baronis a 40-yard field goal to give Tennessee a 10-7 lead here in the second quarter. Tom Moore huddling up with this offense. In addition to coaching up players, you believe that he can also coach the coaches because of the wealth of experience that he has, including young offensive coordinator Dow Logan.
Well, I think he's so invaluable. He's a walking encyclopedia. He's not only been successful, but he's failed too, and that's just as important in lessons to players and coaches. How do you handle failure and what things work and what things don't work?
Another touchback as Cassius Vaughn elected not to take it out. Saturday, the NCAA on CBS has the top-ranked Indiana Hoosiers as they take on in-state rival the Butler Bulldogs. It all starts at 2 o'clock Eastern right here on CBS. So Tom Moore, former Colts offensive coordinator, now working with the Titans. No official title, just part of the staff, the offensive staff. Spent 13 years with Indianapolis, most of those years as the offensive coordinator, and then in a consulting role. Here's Luck. Off the play action, too high for Fleener.
Now you throw it too high to Kobe Fleener, you're throwing it really too high. He's 6'6", got a lot of speed, jumping ability, and this one about 3 inches too far. Just off the fingertips before Babineau can get over.
Fleener had his first NFL touchdown last week, a 26-yard grab.
Yeah, then he did the jackhammer celebration in the back of the end zone.
Yeah, Luck didn't even want to talk about it. We asked him about it. He said, you know what, I don't even want to go there. On second down now for the Colts, empty backfield. Luck to sling it. T.Y. Hilton. After the catch, Hilton can do so much damage with that 4.3 speed. Indianapolis moved up in the draft to get him. So obviously Ryan Grigson saw something coming out of FIU that he felt was going to be a good fit. That's a 14-yard pass play.
And really coming into his own. You talked about all the balls that are targeted to Reggie Wayne. That's going to draw coverage. It was a good pick by Ryan Grigson. Pick up Hilton.
A lot of good picks by
Yeah.
Ryan Grigson, who could be up for Executive of the Year
He
in the
should
NFL.
be for this turnaround. So many young players on this team. They're going to be good for a long time.
Play fake, Luck. And again, skies that one over Fleener's head. Ryan Grigson came over from Philadelphia. Let's take a look at how he constructed this team. 14 starters acquired in the offseason, picked up 2 from the CFL, 3 trades, 4 through the draft, 6 free agents, re-signed the veterans Reggie Wayne, extended Robert Mathis, 35 players in their first year with the team. So a complete makeover. And Chuck Pagano, the head coach, in attendance here in Indy. On a handoff, DeLon Carter out across the 35 for a 3-yard pickup. We've heard excellent news regarding Pagano completing his 3rd round of chemotherapy, battling leukemia, could return December the 30th. Week 17, you see signs all over the stadium. Chuck Strong, this community has really responded. The team has as well.
And in talking to Dwight Freeney, he said it's a great coaching staff led by Chuck. They knew that when he came over here, his history with the Ravens, the style of defense and the success that he's had, they were going to have a good defense.
He said that was a big key, that winning program attitude. Luck is dumped. First man there is Derek Morgan. They get the pressure on Luck, and this Indianapolis drive stalls after the loss of 8 on 3rd down.
It's really a 5-man rush here by the Titans. Morgan goes low. He's going to grab the legs, and really you're tackling a big man when you're bringing down Andrew Luck. 6'4", about 240 pounds. He does not go down without a fight.
So Pat McAfee will punt it. McAfee having an excellent year, 48.4 yards per kick, a net of just under 40. Darius Raynaud waiting for it. Raynaud brings it in at the 18. Raynaud just across the 30-yard line. That's where Tennessee will set up shop with Jake Locker. Locker, good first half. Using his arm, also using his legs. Locker and the Titans have the lead over Indy.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Bose, the official home audio sponsor of the NFL. T. Rowe Price, understanding the connections of a complex global economy. Invest with confidence. And by Audi, truth in engineering.
That was a scene yesterday here at Lucas Oil Stadium, the blood drive. Colts do a terrific job here in the community. Bootleg. Locker forced to get rid of it, incomplete. Antoine Bethea, the pressure. And a flag will be thrown.
They're going to call intentional grounding. Locker's complaining that they're trying to throw it, but got contacted by Bethea. This is Bethea comes on the blitz. And good call by the officials. Apparently there was nobody in the area, but Locker saying that he was contacted by number 41, but he really wasn't. Bethea doesn't make contact until after the ball is thrown. You can see there's no receiver in the immediate area.
So back it up to the 21-yard line after the intentional grounding call against Jake Locker. Johnson in the backfield on a 2nd and 20. Tennessee up by 3. 10:02 to go in this first half. Give is to Johnson. Hole never developed for Johnson up the gut, limited to a 1-yard gain. And again, it's Cavell Connor in on the stop for Indianapolis.
The Colts are alternating Cavell Connor and Pat Anger at that Mike position. The obvious passing situation now on 3rd and long. Connor comes out, Anger comes in.
.189 total yards for Tennessee. And we'll get a stoppage here. The officials huddle up.
We're reviewing the previous play when we had the intentional grounding and there was a loss of down on the play. Correct down, third down.
Yeah, should be third down.
Yeah,
third and 19.
Intentional grounding is loss of down.
So everybody on the same page now. Third and 19 for Tennessee. Fans on their feet here in Indy. 3-point lead for the Titans. Shotgun Locker. Throw it underneath to Johnson and won't get anywhere near the first down. Brought down by Jerry Hughes along with Dwight Freeney. 9-yard pickup.
Boy, penalties on first down just absolutely kill an offense. Set you back. It's tough to get the yardage back. Defenses are playing soft zones, allowing those short check down passes and then making the tackle.
Brett Kern on the punt it. T.Y. Hilton, dangerous return man standing at his own 23-yard line for Indianapolis. Booming kick. And this one won't be touched. Out of bounds inside the 15. We'll step aside. Join the NFL in celebrating 50 years of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. In this golden anniversary, come to Canton and join the more than 10 million fans that have made the pilgrimage to the birthplace of the NFL. For more, visit ProFootballHOF.com.
And enjoy the parade if you come. The parade is unbelievable. About 5 miles long, about 250,000 people along the parade route. Fantastic.
And always proud to share the booth with the Hall of Famer, Dan Fouts. 53-yard punt. Jerry Hughes was called on an unsportsmanlike conduct, so the Colts lose yardage. 8-yard penalty, half the distance for Indianapolis. They open up 1st and 10. On a toss to Reggie Wayne, creating after the catch. Wayne crosses over the 15-yard line and hit by Will Witherspoon, the veteran linebacker. It's a gain of 9 on the play.
Yeah, the young quarterback has been under pressure, been knocked down a few times today. It's been kind of an up and down first half for Luck. 0 for 2 on his first series. Got hot on the second series, 3 for 3. Then just 1 of 3 on his third series. Starts out this one with a completion to Reggie Wayne.
Colts have won 7 of their last 8 against Tennessee, including 4 in a row here at home. Ballard. He's got a first down across the 20-yard line. 4-yard pickup for the rookie out of Mississippi State, Vic Ballard. Andrew Luck, he's taken a lot of hits this year, Dan.
Well, the hurried thing, I hope he's in a hurry when he's throwing the ball. I don't know where that stat ever originated, but, you know, the personal fouls against, about $130,000 have been assessed in fines against those guys that have hit him for those penalties.
Should the quarterback get that money?
I think the announcer in the booth should get it.
Yeah, the former quarterback. Yeah.
That could be a backwards pass there.
Drilled after the catch, Reggie Wayne. So they sniffed that out with Jason McCourty. And Wayne upset. It's a loss of 5 on the play.
Well, he's upset because Andrew Luck should never have thrown this ball. McCarty is right there. You can see him standing right up there as Wayne goes backwards. McCourty is right on him. That ball was thrown backwards, so that's a running play for Reggie Wayne.
2nd and 15 for Reggie Wayne. That will be his first rush of the season. Not one to remember. No. 6.5 to go, first half. Luck in the pocket. Steps, flag down, in stride to Wayne. Penalty marker thrown back at the 14-yard line.
Yeah, the Titans were offsides. Luck saw it, went through with the play, and threw a beautiful pass to Wayne.
16 yards.
Offside, number 99, defense. Penalties declined. The result of the play is a first down.
Now this is what Reggie would prefer. Throw me the ball down the field and let me make a play for you. Good throwing lane for Luck. Ball right on the hands. Watch the stretch out here. That's going to be a pretty famous look there with a touchdown against Green Bay when he stretched across the goal line.
And Dan, Reggie Wayne has now cracked the top 10 all-time in receptions. Vic Ballard with the run. Shake and bake move to the 40-yard line. Good block on that left side from Anthony Costanzo. And it's an 8-yard rip for Ballard. Reggie Wayne has just passed Andre Reed. 953 career catches for Wayne, now in his 12th year in the league.
And I think him deciding to stay with the Colts in the offseason, huge for this ball club and huge for Andrew Luck.
And for Wayne himself, the consistency being here, he's comfortable, and obviously the transition to a star like Luck has been an easy one. Handoff, Ballard. He is dropped for a loss of 1 on the play.
Yeah, the Colts come with a heavy run look that time with a couple of tight ends. We've seen the Titans do that a couple of times today. It just seems like it's such a tip-off to the defense. Unless you're going play action with that type of look, you're just not getting much. It's this day and age, it seems like it's better and more effective to spread out the defense when you want to try to run the ball.
First meeting, the Colts were held to just 3 points in the first half against Tennessee. Five receiver set on 3rd and 3. Luck. Picked off! Andrew Luck intercepted. Will Witherspoon, the pick 6. Touchdown, Tennessee. Luck was going down, and he released the football and threw it right to the defender. 40 yards the other way, the Titans add to their lead.
And Derek Morgan was bringing him down. Arians talking to his young quarterback now, but watch number 91 here come all the way around and bring down Luck from behind. 92 is Witherspoon, and that's a great catch right in the breadbasket. And then he outruns Costanzo for the score. An assist to Derek Morgan.
3rd career touchdown for the 11-year veteran Will Witherspoon.
Well, the question now was Luck's knee down before he lets go of this ball. Whoa, this is really close. They're going to review this.
NFL on CBS is sponsored by Outback Steakhouse. It's always fresh in the Outback. And by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Well, check out Andrew Luck's knees. This is not going to be a touchdown for Will Witherspoon. It will be a sack for Derek Morgan, but that knee is down. The ball in the hand as we check out our hyper zoom camera.
Ruling on the field will stand. It's a touchdown.
Unbelievable. How can he see what we just saw? The ball is in his hand and his knee is now down. It's a sack, not a touchdown.
Look from another angle. Luck going down as he's throwing the football. Just released it. And Rob Baronis the extra point. Tennessee with a 17-7 lead over the Colts. We check out Hyper Zoom. New technology. Didn't work out for Indy.
Now let's go back to the controversial play here. Andrew Luck with his left knee down and the ball still in his hand. I'm not sure exactly Pete Morelli's thinking on this, but to me, that is a sack and not a touchdown.
And how does that change the game? Well, it turns into a 40-yard return for Witherspoon for a touchdown. If it's ruled a sack, it's 10-7. Indianapolis is punting on 4th down. Instead, Tennessee extends the lead to 10, 4:40 remaining, and the Titans will kick off with Baronis and Cassius Vaughn deep. Baronis bangs it through the back of the end zone. The Colts will have it at the 20-yard line.
But you know, if you follow the Colts this year, you know the Colts have the Titans right where they want them.
This is it. This is the formula.
This has been the formula. Don't get that man mad. And if Luck saw that replay, I'm sure he's seething. Great play by Morgan to get to Luck. And a great catch by Witherspoon. That's his 3rd career touchdown off of interceptions for Witherspoon.
Indianapolis this season 7-1 in one-possession games. Only Houston is better. Texans are 5-0. Deep drop for Luck. Pump. Luck gets rid of it. Floats it over to Carter. DeLon Carter coughs it up. And somehow Indianapolis got it.
Reggie Wayne's there with it.
So Indy will hold on to it. Wayne on the recovery for the Colts.
Well, watch he's covering the ball up pretty good, but looked like Tim Shaw came in with the left hand. Babineau can't get it. It's a wild scramble. How about Reggie Wayne going down there? But you know, that was an unbelievable throw by Andrew Luck. He had defenders all over him when he got that ball out to Carter. Great effort by Wayne.
Boy, it looked like Werner was going to get his hands all over it for the recovery. Reggie Wayne works his way over. And Indy retains possession. Play fake. Luck. Pump. Again in some trouble. Luck is smashed down by Carl Klug. The pressure is coming from all angles right now on Andrew Luck, and Tennessee is providing it.
Now this is the second sack of the season for Klug, and he really adds an exclamation point to it right there. You can see Akeem Ayers go flying by. Actually, that's Cameron Wembley, number 95. That forced Luck up into the pocket where Klug was waiting for him.
You see the numbers on Luck. He's been sacked twice. He's been hurried. He's been knocked down. And his team is down by 10. Play clock is down to 1. From the gun, 2nd and 16. Luck. Kobe Fleener. Out across the 40-yard line. And Fleener's slow to get up.
Well, this is a difficult tackle. He went down hard.
9-yard pickup for the rookie out of Stanford, Fleener.
Zach Brown with the tackle, really got his legs tangled up there. Watch Brown come in here. That's a good solid tackle, but watch the leg right there. The right leg is going to get pinned under. It could be an ankle or a knee injury for Fleener.
Fleener missed 4 straight games with a shoulder injury, came back last week and got the touchdown against Detroit. So rookie against rookie there, Zach Brown and Kobe Fleener. Levon Brazil is in for Indianapolis now on a 3rd and 6. Along with Robert Hughes in his first year from Notre Dame. From the gun. Luck is dumped. It's Klug firing through for Tennessee. He's got Luck's number.
Watch Klug, but also watch the rush here by Akeem Ayers with his hand on the ground. He's going to overpower Costanzo and inside of Seth Olson. This is Olson's first start in a long time, and the rush showed on that pass protection.
Coming up on 2 minutes to play in this first half. Tennessee doesn't use a timeout, so Indianapolis will let it run down to the 2-minute warning. We'll step aside. It's the Titans in front, 17-7. Punt coming up for Indianapolis. 2 minutes to play in this first half. Tennessee with a 10-point lead on the Colts, who enter action at 8-4. Pat McAfee will punt it. Darius Raynaud standing at his own 20-yard line for the Titans. High punt. Raynaud lets it bounce. And it caroms out of bounds at the 14-yard line, or they'll spot it at the 15. Coming up, Verizon Halftime Report. JB and the rest of the crew. Latest NFL scores and highlights. That's all coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report.
A real solid first half for Jake Locker. 10 of 13, 138 yards, the 1 touchdown pass of 18 yards to Jared Cook, and the long bomb down the sidelines last time they had possession to Kenny Britt for 46 yards. So this is one of his better games. Better halves, that's for sure.
Number 8 pick overall in the 2011 draft. 2-5 as a starter this season. They've got 1:51 to work with. From the 15. Locker throws on time to Kendall Wright, who turns Out of bounds, out across the 20-yard line. 6-yard pickup. Cassius Vaughn with the stop. Trying to get Rob Baronis into an area where he's comfortable. He missed on a 57-yarder earlier. His long this season is 53 yards. 2nd and 4 now. 1:46 to play, first half. Locker guns. Wright comes back for the football and curls again out of bounds just short of the 30. That covers 8 yards and another first down.
Baronis missed a 57-yarder in the first quarter. It was long enough. It just never quite hooked back between the posts. Stayed out wide right.
From the gun, Locker. Pocket collapsing. Locker throws over the middle. Johnson was in the general vicinity, and that should be enough to avoid any kind of call. Corey Redding with the hit on Locker.
Now, here is Chris Johnson, and it's going to be a middle screen here, but it never got time to develop because of the good pass rush here. Smart play by Jake Locker, knowing he had a receiver in the area that time.
Clock stops, a minute 37 to go in this second quarter. Tennessee does have all 3 timeouts left. 2nd and 10. Locker 12 of 16, 153 yards and a touchdown. Locker fires complete. Working the sideline. Preston with his first NFL catch. Division III product from Heidelberg College. That's an 11-yard pickup.
And Cassius Vaughn ran him out of bounds, running backwards, so the clock continues to run.
We're down to a minute 17 left. New set of downs for Tennessee to work with just across the 40. Locker throws a rainbow delivery. It's caught by Britt. Fantastic grab. 2 penalty markers thrown. Vontae Davis back there defensively.
This one's going to go against Vontae Davis. This appeared to be a one-handed catch by Britt as he heads to the sidelines with some type of injury.
Pass interference, number 23, defense. Penalty will be declined. The result of play is a catch. First down.
That's 46 yards and 5 catches for 127 for Britt.
Well, the Colts are used to seeing this out of big wide receivers. Calvin Johnson caught 13 last week, including a right-handed one-handed catch. Britt goes with a left hand. Vaughn all over his back, and Vaughn can't get the ball out with his left hand.
First and 10 now for Tennessee, just over a minute to go. Locker, look at end zone. Locker, too high. He had Kendall Wright open.
Really a good route by Kendall Wright on the outside, a fake slant, then back to the corner, and he beat Cassius Vaughn. Locker just a little bit too anxious. Watch this route. Fakes to going to the post and then back to the corner. And he just turns around, the defensive back. Can't miss that one.
2nd and 10 from the 13. Locker, dump off, Jared Cook. And banged out towards the sideline after the 3-yard gain. Hit by Moses Foku for Indianapolis. Baronis getting ready. Tennessee obviously looking for more than just a field goal.
We've talked about Tom Moore and his influence on this offense, working well with Dowell Loggins, offensive coordinator. This is a lot simpler offense. Locker getting the ball out of his hands quickly and distributing it quite effectively to a lot of different receivers.
3rd down for Tennessee. Trying to build on its lead. Locker looking to run. Locker is hit. Vontae Davis among those there for Indianapolis. It's a loss of 3 on the play.
Yeah, I don't mind Locker escaping the pocket, but you got to buy time here. It's 3rd down. You're well within field goal range. You can afford to throw the ball, wait for a receiver to come open. But he made up his mind once he left the pocket, he was going to run all the way, and he had no shot because the Colts are playing zone defense. You see him just dropping back, all keeping their eyes on the quarterback and then converging, bringing him down for a loss.
So it will go down as a sack. And Rob Baronis on for a field goal attempt. Indianapolis has stopped the clock with 40 seconds remaining. We know they can work quickly, as we saw last week against Detroit. This will be a short field goal for Barones. 31-yarder for Rob Barones. He's got it. 20-7 Tennessee. 37 seconds remaining in this first half. Titans with a strong performance. Keep it here for the Verizon Halftime Report. JB and Company, NFL scores, highlights, a look around the league. It's all coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report. Andrew Luck and the Indianapolis offense, 37 seconds to work with. They trail 20-7, and Tennessee will kick it off with Rob Barones.
Colts lost a timeout on a challenge that was not go their way back in the first quarter. Barones with a big leg. This ball will probably go out of the end zone, so Luck will be looking at an 80-yard drive.
What a difference maker Kenny Britt has been. He came in averaging just under 12 yards per catch on the season. He is over 25 yards per reception here today. Cassius Vaughn deep. And again, it's a touchback coming out to the 20. He's 4 for 4 on touchbacks today. Tonight on CBS, a 60 minutes investigation into the city known as the False Confession Capital of America. Plus, Hugh Jackman on 60 Minutes tonight, only CBS. Colts have one timeout remaining. Adam Vinatieri, long on the season, 53. His career long, 57, but that goes back 10 years. On first down, Luck from the gun. Pressure coming again. Luck! Dangerous pass. Werner was over there. Donnie Avery, the intended receiver, and Luck grabbing at his left leg as that pocket continues to collapse. We'll see if they can get Vinatieri into range here.
Boy, another shot on Andrew Luck. And again, it's Morgan.
2nd and 10. Luck pats the ball, tosses to Avery, ducks out of bounds. That's good enough for a first down, just across the 30-yard line.
And Derek Morgan knocked down Andrew Luck one more time. Luck has been sacked 3 times this first half, and one time that wasn't called a sack turned into a touchdown.
This offensive line, Costanzo, Olsen, Soteli, McGlynn, and Justice. They have had all that they can handle with this Tennessee defense today. On first down, deep drop, Luck loops out of trouble. Throwing on the move, and too high for Avery. Pressure coming from Zach Brown.
And Zach Brown showing great speed as he was coming on the blitz and then just relentless in his pursuit of Luck. Legal hit on the quarterback outside the pocket, throwing the ball down the field.
Now, that's part of the reason why Tennessee believes this defense can grow into something special. Young players like Brown and Akeem Ayers. Derek Morgan's in just his 3rd year. Jarrell Casey, Carl Klug.
Colin McCarthy.
Yeah, he's just got to stay on the field. That's been the issue for him.
Yep.
On 2nd down, Luck. That could have been disastrous. Dwayne Allen unable to haul it in, but Cody Sensabaugh was closing in. That ball was nearly up for grabs.
Sensabaugh, another rookie. But Allen decides to go with one hand there. And if Sensabaugh had been looking up at the ball and not trying to make a hit on the receiver, he might have been able to pick that off and score with it.
They still need 30 yards just to get Vinatieri into an area that would not even be close to automatic, but in the 55, 56-yard range. On 3rd down, Luck steps, throws, incomplete. Reggie Wayne, an injured Colt on the play. It's Soteli with a flag thrown.
You're going to get Babineau for pass interference.
So Soteli is grabbing his left ankle, Dan.
Yeah, that's a horrible scene there for Samson Soteli.
Pass interference, number 26, defense. automatic first down. Since there was an injury on the play, we will need to charge Indianapolis a timeout. It will be their third and final team timeout by rule.
Colts will lose their timeout, so Telly is up limping. A.Q. Shipley, in his first year from Penn State, is going to step in at center.
Here's the pass interference down the middle of the field. And that's a good call as Babineau had Reggie Wayne wrapped up pretty good. Look at that left arm around the back of Reggie Wayne.
But Indianapolis is now out of timeouts.
Yeah, they got to throw this ball towards the sidelines. They cannot throw this ball down the middle of the field. They will not have enough time to get up, spike it, kill the clock, and bring out the field goal team. So this ball's got to go down the sidelines.
Just 12 seconds left, trailing 20-7 in this first half. They crowd the line. Still need about 12 to 15 yards. Luck, 8 seconds, 7 seconds. Luck throws it. Incomplete. We're down to 5 seconds remaining with Babineau and Griffin among those putting the pressure on Andrew Luck.
Well, the Colts are having trouble blocking just the front four. They're having real trouble blocking the blitz. Both Babineau and Griffin came from the weak side that time, with Witherspoon on the strong side. And Luck's just got no shot, whether he's in the pocket or running for his life.
No, you either try a Hail Mary here with 5 seconds left or take a knee. And they're working out of the gun, so the knee looks out of the question. 5 seconds remaining. They handle the rush. Luck throws a deep ball. Intercepted. Al Afalava, former Indianapolis Colt, with the pick.
His first career pick comes against his old team.
Afalava played for the Bears and the Colts. Ends this first half with an INT. 20-7, Titans in front. Verizon halftime report is coming up after this word and a message from your local station. This is the NFL on CBS. You're listening to a Pepsi anthem by Kelly Clarkson. Download this and other NFL-inspired anthems at PepsiAnthems.com. Halftime here in Indy. 20-7, Tennessee leading Indianapolis. We're getting you ready for the start of the third quarter. Ian Eagle along with Hall of Famer Dan Fouts. You try to figure this team out. Indianapolis coming off that emotional win over Detroit, come from behind fashion. Bruce Arians talked about how the team came out flat. They were going to guard against that. They've looked flat. Tennessee has taken full advantage in the first half.
And the pass protection has been really flat. Now they lose Samson Sattelli to an injury at the end of the first half. Things are going to be tough for the second half for the Colts. But you go back to this key play in the first half. Very controversial interception by Will Witherspoon. But if you check out our hyper zoom, you can see left knee is clearly down. Ball clearly in the right hand of Andrew Luck. Derek Morgan with the sack. That's not called a sack. It's a touchdown for Tennessee. The key play there in the first half.
Yeah, those are game changers as Witherspoon goes the distance, 40 yards, extending the Tennessee lead. They tacked on a field goal late, and they are out on top of Andrew Luck and the Indianapolis Colts 20-7 as we start this second half. Colts come in, one of the hottest teams in football. They've won 6 of their last 7 games, holding down the number 5 seed in the AFC, looking to make the playoffs for the 10th time in the last 11 years. Moronis kicking it off, and once again booms it. That one goes off the crossbar. And a touchback. 5 for 5 on kickoff opportunities going back to the 20-yard line.
Been a rough first half for Andrew Luck, completing just 9 of 19, 1 touchdown pass, 2 interceptions, and has just been hit almost every time he's gone back to pass. And when he hasn't been hit in the pocket, he's been hit running for his life out of the pocket.
A.Q. Shipley is in there, replacing Samson Sattelli. Went out with an apparent left ankle injury. Fake the handoff. Luck out of the pocket. Luck's got the angle. Out of bounds. Rushing numbers in those first 2 quarters. Not pretty for Indianapolis. First half numbers, 270 total yards for Tennessee. Indianapolis 12 yards on the ground. The 2 turnovers, the interception at the end of that first half will go on Andrew Luck's record, but it was a Hail Mary, just looking to make a play. 2nd and 1 after the 9-yard scamper by Luck. Ballard, off the hesitation, drives forward across the 35, and they'll move the chains. 8-yard pickup for Ballard and the Colts.
Here the Colts first half possessions. They got the touchdown pass on that second possession, but remember that was just a short drive after the missed field goal by Rob Baronis. Luck was 3 for 3 on that drive.
This is the number 3 offense in the NFL, averaging 392 yards per game, but 17th in rushing, 5th in passing. On the ground, juke move. Ballard kept the legs churning. Take it to the 40-yard line. 3-yard gain on the play. Michael Griffin, first man there for Tennessee.
And for a team with an 8-4 record coming into today's game, they were minus 16 in turnover differential, now minus 18 in turnover differential. Only 2 teams worse coming into today, that being the Chiefs and the Eagles. Both teams with losing records.
Injury for Winston Justice. Bicep injury on the right side of that line. And here comes T.Y. Hilton. Out of bounds. Tennessee once again prepared. Jeff Linkenbach is over on the right side now for Indianapolis. Tennessee is dealing with offensive line woes based on injuries, and now Indianapolis is in the same boat with their starting center down with an ankle injury, starting right tackle Justice out with the bicep injury.
And don't forget about tight end Kobe Fleener, who left with a left leg injury in that second quarter.
So 3rd and 9 now for Indianapolis. Remember, Seth Olsen just came off IR, and he's starting at left guard for Indy. Reggie Wayne in motion. Luck looking in that direction. And it's Wayne across the 50. First down. 12-yard pickup as they convert it.
That time the pass protection held up as the Titans were coming with the blitz. That allowed Wayne to work one-on-one. They move him in motion. That gets him free off the line of scrimmage, off the bump, and away from Mouton for the first down.
Leading the NFL on 3rd down catches, Reggie Wayne is 25th for a first down. So not just making the 3rd down catch, converting them into first downs. And a give for Ballard. Busting it upfield, Ballard. Another Indianapolis first down. 13 yards for Ballard.
Ballard does a nice job of setting up his blocks. Both A.Q. Shipley and Anthony Costanzo out in front. But Ballard just set up the defense, let the blocks develop, and then cut up the field for a big gain.
There's Luck stepping up in the pocket. Throws. It glanced off the hand of Reggie Wayne. Fans wanted a call. Zach Brown, tight space.
Well, I think the Colts would take that matchup any day. A future Hall of Fame wide receiver working on a rookie linebacker.
Now Bruce Arians indicating he got him on the arm.
He saw it from the sidelines.
Arians telling us that Reggie Wayne has really relished the role of being a leader, takes more notes in meetings than anyone on the team. Still working hard in his 12th year. Luck didn't go down initially, does on the second effort. So Jarris Wynn was the first man there, and then eventually Cameron Wimbley finished him off.
Yeah, the play action fake isn't going to work too well. Here is Wynn. Wynn gets inside of Reggie Wayne. That's not the way you really want to use Reggie Wayne. He's trying to get a little chip on the defensive end before he goes out on his pass route. And Luck goes down one more time.
Jarris Wynn won a Super Bowl with the Green Bay Packers, a 6th-round pick back in 2009, signed as a free agent earlier this season. Now 3rd and 11 for the Colts. Play clock is down to 2. Shotgun. Luck flustered a bit. Incomplete. Reggie Wayne. Luck took another shot from the combination of Morgan and Brown, and Andrew Luck has just passed Peyton Manning for the most passing yards by a rookie in Colts history.
And a lot of Peyton Manning's passes went to that man. Look at Reggie Wayne. That is just pure magic in front of Griffin and in front of Werner. Rather, that's Babineau out there coming back to the ball and reaching out and making the catch.
But the bigger concern right now is pass protection. Andrew Luck, he is getting hit on nearly every play that he drops back. Luck throws over the head of Reggie Wayne. Alteron Werner drawing the coverage for Tennessee at 2nd and 10.
And that time, Luck had time to throw. It seems like the times that he has had time to throw, he's throwing high. A couple of in the first half were over the head of Kobe Fleener. That one was going to be a tight fit on the sideline to Reggie Wayne. Werner had real good coverage, but again, ball off the target.
Bruce Arians talking about Andrew Luck with us, said just tremendous demeanor. He doesn't get caught up in any of the hype. He's very humble and always wants more information. 2nd and 10. Ballard right through the teeth of the Tennessee defense. 11-yard gain and a first down. Good blocks up front from Allen and Olsen for Indy.
Yeah, the draw play and good vision by Ballard. He has a way of finishing off plays. I'm sure Titan fans remember that great touchdown he made against their team in overtime to give the Colts that win on that screen pass when he went corkscrewed into the end zone.
12th play of the drive. 1st and goal now inside the 10-yard line. On a give, stutter step. Ballard did not get in. Just short. Jarrell Casey gets him down low. And a gain of 6.
Boy, this is real close to getting in.
Second and goal for Indianapolis. Trying to cut into this Tennessee lead. Titans crowd the line. Luck to throw for it. Floater knocked away by Werner. He was turned around in the wrong direction, and Werner made the play on Donnie Avery.
Well, watch Werner's hands get in between Avery's hands. Ball slightly underthrown to Avery. Good reaction by Werner. Close to pass interference. Interesting play call from inches away to throw the fade. I was anticipating Luck would just take it on a quarterback sneak with a quick count at 6'4", 240. Strong enough to power his way in.
Tennessee leads it 20-7. 3rd and goal inside the 1. Luck on a give. It's Carter for the touchdown. DeLon Carter produces.
He got in easily over the left side. Costanzo with a key block there. And 3 tight ends lining up here. Fleener back into the game. That's a good sign. And right behind all 3 of the tight ends is where Carter finds the end zone.
DeLon Carter, his 3rd rushing touchdown of the season, as he steamrolls in to cut the Tennessee lead to 20-14. 14 plays, 80 yards for Luck and the Colts. Opening drive of the second half, Indianapolis puts a touchdown on the board. DeLon Carter, 1-yard run, took 6 minutes and 24 seconds. Tennessee's lead is 20-14 as the Colts will kick it off with Pat McAfee. Darius Raynaud waiting for it. No return for Raynaud. Titans will have it at the 20. DeLon Carter. That's what he specializes in. Short runs for touchdowns.
NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. LG Optimus G, the new quad-core powered smartphone. And by Best Buy. What will your gift do?
Third quarter action here in Indianapolis, 20-14. Tennessee leading the Colts. Titans at 4-8. Colts interaction at 8-4. And a lot of potential movement in the AFC playoff picture. Locker tipped up in the air. Angerer was in the area but couldn't get over there in time.
Robert Mathis on the blitz. Got his left hand on this. Is Craig Stevens trying to keep him out of the area of the quarterback.
And here's the playoff picture. How important is this game? Indianapolis trying to maintain its lead in the wild card chase. You've got Pittsburgh. You've got Cincinnati. The Jets, Buffalo, and Miami on the periphery, but trying to stay alive with wins today. 2nd and 10 now. And a flag comes down prior to the snap.
False start. Number 88 offense. 5-yard penalty remaining, 2nd down.
And it's Craig Stevens. 5th-year tight end from Cal. Fifth penalty against Tennessee. Second and 15. Locker gets rid of it. Another quick hitter, this time to Britt. And a modest gain, 6 yards, will set up 3rd and long. Vontae Davis wrapped up Britt on the play.
Totally different looking Indianapolis Colt team here in the second half. The offense with a great 14-play drive to get in the end zone. And now the defense starting to pick up the action, and that's got to make Chuck Pagano and Ryan Grigson happy upstairs.
3rd and 9 now for Tennessee. Under 8 minutes to go in the third. Locker trying to quiet the crowd. He fires, knocked away. Trying to hit Washington as Cassius Vaughn came over the back. Locker and Washington looking for a call. Indianapolis gets off the field on defense.
And this ball got a little wobbly on Jake Locker. You can see how Washington had to stop to come back for this. And Cassius Vaughn with a big play as he goes over the top. Left hand swats the ball before contact is made. Perfect timing by Cassius Vaughn.
He was acquired in a deal with Denver, and he has become a productive member of this defense for Indianapolis. Tennessee goes 3 and out. Kern to punt. They don't want Hilton to even touch it, but he will along the sideline. Hilton. Great fake upfield and thrown down at the 40. 54-yard punt, a 15-yard return. Bo Brinkley, the snapper, made the play. Momentum shifting in Indy's direction. 2 injured Colts on that play. Robert Hughes and DeLon Carter. Checking out the left leg of Hughes and the right leg of Carter after the punt. Indianapolis takes over at the 41-yard line. They trail by 6. We have 7:34 to go in the third. Conventional set here for Luck. Running play, Ballard. And brought down at the line of scrimmage by Morgan and Marks. Wednesday in primetime, JB, Chris Collinsworth, Phil Simms showcase America's favorite game with their own unique style. It's inside the NFL, and it's Wednesday on Showtime.
We talked about those first half stats where the Colts only rushed for 12 yards. Their last drive, they had 49 yards rushing, including the touchdown by Carter. But a bad start on this first play. No gain for Ballard.
Shotgun formation out of a 2nd and 10. A flip to Avery. Donnie Avery hit hard. Combination of Witherspoon and McCourty bring down the 5'11" 200-pound Avery. A 1-yard gain on the pass.
You can see the dilemma, though, for Andrew Luck and the Colts. They can't really go back in the pocket and throw the ball down the field because of this pass rush. Try to get it out quickly again, and the speed of this Tennessee defense been awesome so far.
3rd and 9 now for Indy. T.Y. Hilton in motion. Movement and a jump. Derek Morgan was trying to get the edge on the left side of the Tennessee line.
Yeah, just a little greedy there, a little over anxious.
Neutral zone infraction, number 91 defense. The 5-yard penalty, still third down.
Watch the jump here by Morgan. He's been after Luck all afternoon. He knows he was way offsides.
6 penalties now, costing Tennessee 55 yards. Third and 4 now for Indianapolis. Operating from the gun, Luck steps up in the pocket. Luck fires, incomplete. A fastball as he tried to hit Dwayne Allen. Indianapolis will punt.
But again, he had to dodge rushers. Both Klug and Mike Martin got hands on Luck. He stepped up into the pocket. That gave him a lot of impetus, and he put a lot on that ball to Allen, who couldn't make the catch.
Luck had high praise for the Tennessee defense when we chatted with him. Said that they play tough, they're a gritty group, they make you grind it out. I think he'll have even
more
higher
respect.
praise and more respect after this one.
And more bruises.
Pat McAfee will punt it. Darius Reynaud gonna let that one float over his head. Looking for the corner.
Oh my!
He's got it! Inside the 2. You can't do it much better than that for Pat McAfee. 52-yard punt, perfectly placed.
On CBS is sponsored by K Jewelers, the #1 jewelry store in America. Every kiss begins with K. And by FedEx. FedEx does more than shipping. FedEx, solutions that matter.
Well, Tennessee was very upset. Alan Lowry, the special teams coach. Why?
Dwayne Allen's going to move just slightly here. And the Titans saying that's illegal motion, not called by the officials. Big miss by the officials.
And the McAfee punt lands at the 1. Picked off for the touchdown. Cassius Vaughn. What a turn of events. Indianapolis an extra point away from taking the lead.
This is a misread by Jake Locker. It's zone coverage. Vaughn has his short zone, stepped right in front of Nate Washington. Watch this, he's just going to come up because he knows he has safety help. Locker, 3-step drop, looks at the safety, never looked outside. As easy an interception return for a touchdown as you'll ever see.
First interception of the season for Vaughn. Second career touchdown, and just like that, Indianapolis takes the lead.
Not been a good day for the men in stripes. They missed the offsides, they missed the sack on Luck. Both plays result in interceptions for touchdowns.
The sequence of events here. McAfee, the punt to pin Tennessee deep in its own territory. No call, despite the fact that Indianapolis moved on the line before the snap of the punt. And then on the very next play, the interception and touchdown. Cassius Vaughn as Locker turns it over. McAfee, another booming kick. Tennessee will have it at the 20-yard line.
Take another look at the touchdown. It's going to be a quick hitch route to Washington. This is Bethea. He's got the deep zone. Vaughn can step up now knowing he's got help deep. Keeps his eye on the quarterback. Sees the route, sees the ball, sees the end zone.
Indianapolis came in with a -16 turnover differential. That's the worst ever mark for an 8-4 team. They have not forced a lot of turnovers. That was a big one. Locker moving pocket. And a big hit down low as Johnson gets tagged by Vaughn.
And that was a big hit by Vaughn. That made Chris Johnson slow to get up and slow to get back to the huddle.
No gain on the play. It's 2nd and 10 now for Tennessee. Indianapolis keeps following this trend, coming alive in the second half. Locker to Cook. He's spilled out. Vontae Davis with the hit.
The Locker's just not reading the coverage. The corner is up on this play. Davis gets inside of a weak effort by Kenny Britt. And Cook has absolutely no chance. In fact, loses a yard. Perfect form tackle by Vontae Davis.
86th consecutive sellout in Indianapolis. This crowd is really into it. 3rd and 11 now. Locker escapes, throws on the move, finds the open man as he hits Craig Stevens. First down, out across the 35-yard line. The pressure came from both ends, Redding and Freeney.
Well, Locker is a strong quarterback. Watch as he breaks the pocket, gets away from the pressure there by Corey Redding, keeps his eyes down the field, and Stevens with a good job of settling in the open area for 19 yards.
New set of downs for Tennessee. Handoff, Johnson. Stutter step up the middle for a yard. Joe LaFedge helping out in run support.
Well, you know, the safeties are looking for that cutback. We've seen this a couple of times today where Johnson will start one way and then look to cut back to the weak side, and each time it's either LaFedge or Antoine Bethea with that run support you're talking about, Ian.
2nd and 9 now for Tennessee. We're down to 3 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter. Give to Johnson. And no room to cut because Lawrence Guy crowded the space. 1 yard gain for Chris Johnson.
Second-year pro out of Arizona State. There he is right here. Watch the quickness he uses to just shed the blocker, Mike Otto, and make the tackle on Chris Johnson again.
Third and 8 now. Colts press the line here. 1-point lead for Indianapolis. Locker can't break free. It came in waves, led by Robert Mathis.
Well, last week Mathis got his first career interception. We got a flag down on this play. Appears to be against Colts.
Number 58, defense, 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
And it's Moses Foku, and it turns into a first down for Tennessee.
Boy, they called holding on this play. I'm not sure it is holding. Like Foku just leveled Craig Stevens on a crossing route. Here's Foku right here. He just knocks Stevens down. That's not defensive holding. That's a good play. Legal inside of 5 yards.
Gives Tennessee a first down. Johnson tried to get ahead of steam, but he gets brought down after the gain of 3 by Angerer.
Yeah, the Colts have got to be careful here because Chris Johnson, as we all know, is capable. He's been bottled up pretty much so far this afternoon. 14 carries for 32 yards, but he was close on that play to going all the way.
Offensive line changes for Tennessee. Kevin Matthews starting at center. Velasco now at left guard. Mike Otto at right tackle. Based on the injuries as the flags come down, and this play never gets off.
False start. Number 61 offense, 5-yard penalty. Remains second down.
And that is Velasco, who had been starting at center.
That's 7 penalties now for 60 yards against the Titans.
Steve Hutchinson, David Stewart, both went down with injuries last week, both placed on IR. Stewart, a broken right leg. Hutchinson, injured right knee. Kevin Matthews starting at center, the son of Hall of Famer Bruce Matthews, the offensive line coach. Bruce Matthews blocked for 2 Heisman Trophy winners at USC, Charles White and Marcus Allen. His son Jake blocks for Johnny Manziel, who won the Heisman yesterday for Texas A&M. Shotgun formation. Locker throws into a tight window. It's caught by Britt. And hit from the side by Angerer right at midfield. So a 6-yard pickup.
Good strength by Britt to first make the catch on a bullet from Jake Locker, then pull away from the defender. But when you try to cross the field, that's where a lot of the big bodies come in. Watch as Angerer comes back from rushing the passer to make this tackle from behind. Pulls away from Vontae Davis, but does not get up the field to pick up the first down.
Final seconds of the third quarter, and Locker's not going to get a playoff. We will go to the fourth. What a turnaround for the Indianapolis Colts here in the second half. 21-20, they lead it. We'll return to Lucas Oil Stadium after this message and a word from your local station. This is the NFL on CBS. Start of the fourth quarter, a pair of touchdowns in the third quarter for Indianapolis to give them a 1-point lead. 15 minutes on the clock. 3rd and 5 for Tennessee. Trying to convert to open up the fourth. Locker bounced off the defender, Buffet. Incomplete and a flag thrown. Craig Stevens, the intended target for Tennessee.
They're going to get Buffet for pass interference. Looked like it was pretty good timing.
Pass interference, number 41, defense. Automatic first down.
What do you think?
I think the officials are having a rough afternoon. That ball was through the hands of Stevens, actually hit Buffet. Buffet never really made contact with either the receiver or the ball. That was about as clean as you can play it.
Move the chains for Tennessee. A 1st and 10 at the 40 of Indianapolis. Pump and throw, and that ball was up in the air as it glanced off right. Incomplete.
This ball should have been intercepted by Jerry Hughes. Went right by him. Colts were ready for this little slip screen. Watch 92 here. Watch where Locker's trying to throw this ball. And he sees Hughes standing right there. Goes right by Hughes, right by right. Still up in the air for an eternity.
Second and 10. On the ground, Johnson. And he's ridden down just short of the 30-yard line by Foku. 7.5-yard gain for Chris Johnson.
That's one of his better runs, yardage-wise, this afternoon. You got to keep pounding the ball too, Chris Johnson. Don't give up on the running attack, because that is what the Titans need to give Locker some confidence. He looks like he's a little shaky here in the second half.
15 carries, 40 yards for Johnson. 3 catches for 15 yards. And a 3rd and 2 now for Tennessee. From the gun, rush is coming. Locker's going to run for the first down. And more. Locker is down to the 21. Robert Mathis tried to shoot through. That forced Locker out of the pocket. Turned into an 11-yard gain.
Yeah, Locker saw 98 coming out of the corner of his eye. And then he turns into a running back here, and a pretty good one. Remember, Locker is 6'3", 235 pounds himself. Excellent runner with great speed. And a good decision maker that time.
He's had a couple of quality runs. A 32-yard run in the first half, an 11-yard run here early in the fourth quarter. This drive continues now. More than 7 minutes of elapsed time. Chris Johnson is met basically at the line of scrimmage. Forward progress will give him 1 yard. Angerer will get credit for the stop.
This is a real good offensive response by the Titans after giving up the touchdown last time out to start this fourth quarter. A 12th play coming up now for the Titans.
Jared Cook being accompanied to the locker room. Tom Moore having a chat with Matt Hasselbeck. A lot of knowledge between those two and experience. Bootleg. Locker on the move. Throws on the run. Catch is made. Nate Washington getting involved. And Washington has got himself a first down. 15 yards. It'll be first and goal for Tennessee.
This is how the game started for Tennessee. Bootleg by Locker, throwing outside. Really a good route by Nate Washington as he fakes the fade look. Comes out of his break quickly. Vaughn goes flying by, and extra yards down to the 5 now for Nate Washington. Great play by Washington.
75th straight game with at least one catch for Nate Washington, the veteran. 3 tight ends. First and goal. Handoff. Johnson. Johnson tried to dance and gets his leg taken out from under him by Vontae Davis.
Well, the secondary of the Colts has really tackled well this afternoon. We've seen Bethea and Joe LaFege. Watch Vontae Davis come slicing up here, totally unblocked. Explodes into the knees of Chris Johnson. Johnson thinking he could get to the outside there. Beautiful play. -5 there for Vontae Davis.
So it's second and goal now from the 10. Tennessee down by 1. Bootleg. Locker moving pocket. Locker weaving his way, and he just won't go down. Indianapolis finally makes the play. Locker nearly took that one all the way. It's an 8-yard gain.
Well, Locker really wanted to throw this ball. This is the last thing he had on his mind as he comes out on the bootleg. He's thinking about trying to find a receiver. And now the Colts kind of relaxed on the sidelines. You've seen this often this year where it looks like defenders are waiting for a quarterback to step out of bounds. Well, this kid ain't stepping out of bounds.
Third and goal for Tennessee. Locker loses the ball. And a flag is thrown.
False start.
False start. Number 61 offense. 5-yard penalty remains third down.
It's Velasco moved, but also Locker moved early.
8 penalties for 65 yards against Tennessee.
We talked about the new center, Kevin Matthews, and the quarterback. That was an example right there of not working together in game situations that often.
Third and goal. Locker upstairs. Incomplete. Davis got his hands on it. Nate Washington, the intended receiver. And now Rob Baronis will come on for Tennessee for a 25-yard attempt.
You know, if you're going to throw a fade route down here, wouldn't you rather throw it to Kenny Britt? I mean, Nate Washington is 6'1". Britt goes about 6'3", 6'4". That ball should have been picked off by Vontae Davis. Way underthrown by Locker. And he's lucky that Davis couldn't make that catch.
Bo Brinkley will snap it. Brett Kerr and the punter will hold it from 25 yards away. Tennessee regains the lead with 10:28 left to play in the fourth quarter. Long drive for the Titans. They've got 3 points to show for it. Coming up, Subway postgame show. JB and the rest of the gang. Latest NFL scores and highlights. It's all coming up on the Subway postgame show. 10:28 to play. We're in the fourth quarter here in Indianapolis. Tennessee out in front, 23-21. AFC South matchup. Titans are yet to win a game within the division. They're 0-4. They've averaged just 14 points per game in division play, so they've topped that. And Baronis is going to kick it off. Line drive and very effective. 6 for 6 on kickoffs to touchbacks. Andrew Luck and the Colts offense on the field when we come back.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by T-Mobile. Nationwide 4G coverage from coast to coast. Ted, unrated, stuffed with even more laughs on Blu-ray and DVD December 11th. And by Acura. Acura Advanced.
Indianapolis Colts, 5 wins this season when tied or trailing in the fourth quarter. They trail Tennessee 23-21. On a handoff for Vic Ballard, he takes it up the middle for 5 yards. The report on DeLon Carter is an ankle injury. His return is questionable for Indianapolis.
Remember, Donald Brown did not suit up today. He injured his ankle last week in Detroit, so it's going to be Vic Ballard.
Colts 7-1 in games decided by 8 points or less. And now a 2nd and 5 for Indy. 5 receiver set. Luck from the gun. Slings it over to Reggie Wayne. Wayne is out of bounds, short of the 30-yard line. 3.5-yard gain. Wayne doesn't like the spot. Cody Sensabaugh with a hit.
Yeah, Wayne trying to stretch out past that 30-yard line. He thought he did that. Official said he came up about 2 yards shy. Catches the ball at about the 25, but
Sensabaugh spotted it.
spotted it well.
For Tennessee, 3rd and 2 now. Luck loses the ball. There was movement. Ball is still free.
Titans have it, but we have offsides against the Titans. This will be a first down for the Colts.
Zach Brown on the recovery, a moot point.
Offside, number 92, defense, 5-yard penalty. And the result of the penalty is a first down.
And it's Will Witherspoon. 9th penalty against Tennessee. 70 yards.
There's a guilty party right here. There's a couple times this evening or this afternoon that Luck has been able to draw a Titan offsides. That time some Derek Marks into the neutral zone.
They gave the wrong number. So Witherspoon not the guilty party. So Derek Marks was lined up next to him. 9:15 to play in the fourth. 23-21 Tennessee.
Delay of game.
Delay of game, offense, 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
Andrew Luck pointing to himself. My fault. Trouble getting the play out.
Colts are 5-1 at home. They've won 4 straight here at Lucas Oil Stadium. When they've lost big. Their average margin of defeat is 21.5 points per loss. 1st and 15. Luck. Incomplete. Donnie Avery, the intended receiver. Ryan Mouton closed on him. Avery, former member of the Tennessee Titans, played with him last year.
Yeah, defensive coordinator Jerry Gray deciding to come with just a 3-man rush that time. Dropped 8. And talk about being dropped. Watch the shot there by Mouton on Avery. That ball finds the turf with 3 Titans real close to picking it off.
Andrew Luck once again under 50%. He was 24 of 54 last week in the win over Detroit. 2nd and 15. Luck fires. It's hauled in by Avery. First down across the 45. 18 yards on the pass play. Donnie Avery said no hard feelings with Tennessee. Still has a lot of friends on this Titan squad.
Well, that's coming back after a big hit by Mouton to be able to make this grab, reaching out away from his body with his strong hands, knowing contact is coming. 18 yards, just enough for the first down.
Avery said that he called Nate Washington when Arians got the job as the offensive coordinator, and Avery was considering signing with Indianapolis, and Washington said, yeah, it's a good fit, play for him. Luck hit as he throws. Washington has played for Arians back in their Pittsburgh days together. Klug and Morgan combining on the heat against Andrew Luck.
Yeah, and then Seth Olson is going to come up limping after this. Klug having a heck of a day getting in there, and Olson gets rolled up by his own man, Jeff Linkenbach. A lot of people holding their breath as that ball floats to the ground.
Biceps injury for Winston Justice. That happened today. Samson Satelli with an ankle injury, so a change at center with A.Q. Shipley in. Ballard. Good cut by Ballard. First down into Tennessee territory at the 40. Anthony Costanzo on that left side with a key block.
Yeah, kind of a delayed draw here. Shipley getting out in front, but it was the quickness of Ballard there as he got around the corner and then north and south for 14 yards.
17 rushing yards in the first half. He's got 60 here in the second half. First and 10 from the 40 of Tennessee. We're down to 7:51 to play in the fourth. Luck loses the ball again and jumps on top of it. Not a lot of damage done except a loss of 3 on the play. Second and 13.
There's a little confusion there between Luck and Reggie Wayne. He had Wayne going in motion, then told him to go back in the other direction. And I bet his concentration was just a little bit off here. It was a good snap by Shipley. We talked about the challenges that Locker and Kevin Matthews have. They've mishandled a couple today. Shipley, a new center for Luck.
Shipley, who played some defensive line at Penn State. Second and 13. Luck steps. He throws in stride, and it's Brazil, another rookie contributing in the passing game. 8-yard pickup for the rookie from Ohio. Lavon Brazil had his first NFL touchdown a week ago on a 42-yard reception against Detroit.
One of the things that Colts do so well is they convert third downs. One of the best teams in the league, and so far today, 4 out of 9. And this one has a lot of options for Andrew Luck with a 3rd and 5.
And they still need some yards here for Vinatieri. On third down, Luck, protection holds up. Luck steps up. Luck throwing, home run ball, dropped. Donnie Avery.
And they're going to bring out Vinatieri for the field goal. They would rather bring him back for the extra point. Be a long field goal for Vinatieri, but this ball should have been caught by Avery. Actually, it hits his face mask. You know, he's wondering if he's running out of real estate here, but that ball goes right off his face mask and right between his hands.
And would have been inbounds. Instead, it's Vinatieri trying to match his season long. For the lead, Vinatieri knocks it through. 53-yarder for Vinatieri. Indianapolis takes the lead with 6:23 to play. 24-23 Colts. Adam Vinatieri, Mr. Clutch through the years, knocks that one through for Indy. Indianapolis 24, Tennessee 23, a 10-play, 45-yard drive. Took just over 4 minutes of game action. Vinatieri, a 53-yard field goal. And Dan Vinatieri probably could have made that one from 60 plus.
That hit up about 10 yards into the net. Behind the upright, I think he could hit a 60-yarder this afternoon if called upon.
McAfee with the touchback. Tennessee will have it at the 20. Nobody knows the game like a quarterback. Break down all the NFL action on NFL Monday QB. That's tomorrow, 6:30 Eastern, only on CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. 6:23 to go. A tight one here at Lucas Oil Stadium. Indianapolis holding on to a 1-point lead. Tennessee at 4-8. They've dropped 4 of their last 5 games. Handoff to Johnson. Trying to snake his way through the middle. 2-yard gain. Antoine Bethea with a stop for Indy.
Well, the Colts got away with one there. They had 12 men in the huddle, and they snuck one man off to the sidelines. And the officials never quite saw it.
Last week, Tennessee had 354 yards of offense and a loss to Houston. A lot of that was window dressing in the second half. They've got 346 yards of offense today. Indianapolis has been held to 240 yards of offense. But it's Indy in front on the scoreboard. 2nd and 8. Locker on the move. Intercepted. Flag is down. Picked off by Darius Butler for Indianapolis. Penalty marker thrown right at the 30.
There's no foul for illegal contact. The quarterback was out of the pocket. The Gophers plays an interception. Indianapolis ball.
Huge turnover here in the fourth.
Yeah, there was contact, but because Locker was chased out of the pocket, you can have contact down the field. Darius Butler is going to come up with the interception. Here he is, number 20 here. He's going to grab Nate Washington. They could have called that holding. They threw the flag on illegal contact, but because Locker's out of the pocket, the interception will stand.
The Colts have it inside the Tennessee 30. Butler's third pick of the season. Indianapolis with a 1-point lead. 5.5 to go in the fourth. Handoff to Ballard. And he's brought down just short of the 25 by Senderick Marks. 3-yard gain, and Ballard limping off a bit.
Well, watch the pressure here from Freeney. That's going to cause Locker to get out of the pocket. And there's the interception by Butler. Got a little grab on Nate Washington. Not enough to constitute holding.
Hey, Dan, Indianapolis doesn't have any running backs. Donald Brown is out because of injury. Brown sitting with the ankle problem. DeLon Carter goes down with an ankle. Robert Hughes is out with a knee injury.
Well, Andrew Luck can play running back. Put him back in the Wildcat, the shotgun, where he seems to play all the time anyway. Let him run the ball.
They use a timeout here as the play clock was winding down. Stops the clock. 4:44 to go in the fourth.
NFL on CBS is sponsored by Subway Restaurants. This December is Customer Appreciation Month. Subway, eat fresh. And by the all-new Honda Accord. It starts with you.
Coming up, Subway postgame show. JB and company, NFL scores, highlights. That's all coming up on the Subway postgame show. 2nd and 7. Ballard is back in there for Indianapolis. 3 tight ends in this formation. Fake the handoff. It's an end around. Donnie Avery turns the corner. Avery is hit as he crosses the 25. He did a lot of running for a 3-yard gain. Jason McCourty with the stamp on Avery.
Oh, we talked about Ballard going out with an injury, bought some time on the sidelines. They fake the ball to Ballard and give it to Avery. But a very tenuous situation for the Colts with all these injuries to their running backs.
Brown already out with the ankle injury. Hughes and Carter sustaining injuries today. It's a 3rd and 4 now. Dwayne Allen lines up in the backfield as a protector for Luck working out of the gun. On 3rd down, rush is coming. Luck throws. End zone. Too far. Trying to hit Reggie Wayne. They've done a good job against Wayne today. 6 catches, 64 yards. He does have a touchdown, but he has not exploded against this Tennessee defense.
I'll give the rookie Cody Sensabaugh a lot of credit for staying stride for stride with Reggie Wayne. Ball about a yard too far for Wayne's left hand to grab.
Adam Vinatieri on for a 40-yard field goal attempt. Matched his season high with a 53-yarder. And the 40-yard attempt is perfect. Indianapolis now with a 27-23 lead. 3:48 to play in the fourth.
And that's the importance of that interception by Darius Butler. It allowed the Colts to extend the lead now to a point where the Titans have got to go down and get a touchdown to win the game.
Tonight on CBS, don't miss a heart-stopping final challenge on The Amazing Race. Looks fun. Season finale tonight, only CBS. (27-23). Indianapolis trying to improve to 8-4 on the season and solidify their hopes in the AFC playoffs. They enter action at 8-4. A win would get them to 9-4. Thrilling victory last week in Detroit. Had to come from behind to do it, with Luck throwing the touchdown to Donna Avery, 14 yards as time expired. But Tennessee will have the football, down by 4 with 3:48 to play. Raynaud has not gotten a sniff on kickoff returns. Another touchback. Well, DeLon Carter to touchdown. That really got the rally going, and then this play. After the punt from McAfee pinned Tennessee deep in its own territory, the interception and touchdown by Vaughn, and the long field goal. Vinatieri, another interception. This one for Butler, another field goal for Vinatieri, and that's where we stand now, 27-23.
And Locker not only has to battle this Colt defense, he's got to battle this Lucas Oil Stadium crowd. Very knowledgeable crowd, quiet when the Colts on offense and loud when the opponent's on offense.
Cavell Connor just came off the field, and he is limping along the Indianapolis sideline. Tennessee with a 1st and 10 at its own 20. Shotgun. Locker coming back for the football is Kenny Britt. It's a clean catch. Not a big gain, though. Just 4 yards along the sideline.
Well, when he got through rolling on the ground, he got touched. He actually lost about 3 yards by going down to make this catch and then rolling over a couple of times.
2nd and 6. Handoff. Johnson finds a running lane. Comes up just short of 1st down yardage. Had to get to the 30. And he'll be inches away from moving the chains. But Fay and Freeman bring him down. Well, they're going to give him the 1st down. I'm not sure Tennessee knew. The Titans quick snap it.
Yeah, but it's going to cost them a down. They had a 1st down with the play to Johnson. They thought that they were short. That's why they came up quickly to run the quarterback sneak.
And now Mike Munchak just realized that his team just blew it down. Shotgun on 2nd and 10. Locker throws. Incomplete. Broken up. Cassius Vaughn against Kendall Wright. And Vaughn has been winning his matchups.
You know, it may have cost him a down, but really in this situation, you're going to go for it on 4th down. You have to. So they got 2 more downs to pick up this 10 yards.
And they do have 3 timeouts.
That is true, but I still think you got to go for it.
And Tennessee is hoping to avoid that decision. 2:57 to play in the 4th. This is a 3rd and 10 now for the Titans. Locker throwing, rainbow deep ball, incomplete. Kenny Britt.
Well, Munchak likes the fact that he does have 3 timeouts. He'll trust his defense to force the Colts into a 3 and out and perhaps get the ball back. This ball had no chance of being completed. Great coverage by Vontae Davis on Britt.
Dan, a similar situation to last week with Indianapolis having to make a decision, electing to punt, trusting the defense against Detroit that they would get the ball back. They eventually did, and they won the game. Tennessee is going to do the same thing here, down by 4 to Indy with 2:52 to go. Brett Kern. T.Y. Hilton waiting for it. Flag is thrown. Hilton catches along the perimeter. Works his way up the sideline. NFL cameraman smartly gets out of the way. 56-yard punt.
This is one of those calls on the sidelines where the gunner goes out of bounds, whether he was pushed out of bounds, whether he came back inbounds right away or not. It's what the officials are discussing right now.
Personal foul, number 42, the receiving team player went out of bounds blocking during the kick after the goal, 1st down.
Okay, these guys up here watch as the gunner will go out of bounds and be blocked while he's out of bounds. Not a big block, but enough to keep him out of bounds and perhaps cause a dangerous situation there, running into an innocent bystander player on the sidelines. That's why that penalty is called.
Number given was 42. There is no 42 on Indy. Looked like 32, Cassius Vaughn. Either way, Indianapolis has it 1st and 10 at its own 10-yard line with 2:42 to go. Ballard runs into the line and nothing there.
And Munchak immediately calls timeout from the sidelines.
So a 1-yard gain. Tennessee will have 2 timeouts remaining. Stops the clock with 2:37 to play here in the 4th. Next Sunday, NFL on CBS. Doubleheader action. First, Peyton Manning and the Broncos battle the Ravens. And in a key AFC South matchup, the Colts take on the Texans. Then, the Steelers meet the Cowboys. Both teams will try to keep their playoff hopes alive. It all starts at noon Eastern. The NFL Today, presented by Southwest Airlines.
And the Colts will be watching that Houston-New England game very closely tomorrow night.
That's the amazing part. If Indianapolis wins here, there's still a chance that they could go out and win the division.
Control their own fate.
Would have to win both games, obviously, against Houston. 2 of their final 3 remaining games come against the team with the best record in the AFC. 2nd and 9 now for the Colts. It'll be Ballard again. He's got a running lane. Ballard, a first down. Slicing his way to the 25-yard line. 13-yard run for Ballard. Chuck Pagano, Ryan Grigson watching upstairs.
Now they bring in 2 tight ends for that side. They've got Wesley Saunders and Dwayne Allen. And again, Ballard gets quickly to the outside. What I like about him is at the end of runs, he's always falling forward, always heading towards the goal line, and rarely getting stopped for a loss.
Timeout called. Here's the upcoming schedule for Indianapolis. At Houston next week. Home for Houston to wrap up the season with Kansas City sandwiched in between.
I'm not in favor of playing the same team twice in 14 days. We've seen that a lot this season in the NFL.
On first down, a give for Ballard. Right now, very similar to last week, except it's the Titans in the role that the Colts were in. If they stop Indianapolis, the best that they can do is get the football back with about 1:10 left. They're out of timeouts. They do have the 2-minute warning. And that's obviously if Indianapolis runs the ball and keeps it inbounds, doesn't stop the clock with a sideline run or an incomplete pass. Here's a playoff picture. Houston leading the way, 11-1. Denver got the win on Thursday night, so they're sitting back and watching all the action, 10-3. Pittsburgh right now is down by 17 at 7-5, so the lead for Indianapolis could grow in the wild card race. Ballard, 94 yards on the ground, a career high for him. Luck to throw it. Fires. First down. Dwayne Allen with the catch. And that's going to do it. We're going to hit the 2-minute mark. Tennessee is not going to be able to stop the clock.
Well, here's 83 Allen right down the middle. Watch him reach out with his hands. Makes a big catch there in front of Zach Brown. And Chuck Pagano and Ryan Grigson can go celebrate.
Helpless feeling here for Jake Locker. Titans cannot stop the clock. They had to stop Indianapolis. And the Colts, the risk reward. You take the risk throwing the football. You stop the clock on an incomplete ball. But if you convert, you end the game.
You trust your young quarterback. He's come through in the clutch throughout this first year. 9 wins now for the Colts. Luck again did not play his best game of it. But in clutch time, especially on that pass to Dwayne Allen over the middle, he was perfect.
Indianapolis now 9-4 and looking good for the wild card berth and still alive for a division title depending upon how things shake out with the Houston Texans. For the Titans, disappointment. It continues. They fall to 4-9 on the season. They've dropped 5 of their last 6 games. And they have taken an offer in the AFC South. Now 0-5 within the division. Colts have to take one more knee. How about Atlanta falling to Carolina? So all those question marks in the NFC still popping up. Who's the best team in the conference?
And Atlanta had probably the most questions, too, because of the way they've won this season.
Final snap. What a run the Colts are on. They have won 7 of their last 8 games to improve to 9-4 on the season. Once again trailing in the 4th quarter, the Colts rally and knock off the Titans. 27-23 is your final here in Indy. The Colts sweep the Titans, and they continue their hot streak at home. Final score once again, Indianapolis 27, Tennessee 23. Coming up, Subway postgame show. For Dan Fouts, this is Ian Eagle saying so long from Indianapolis. The NFL on CBS as we send it to New York.